I don't want people to see me as an inspiration. I'm doing air quotes, you can't see them. Just because I'm disabled and living my life. What I think I hope is that people will see that a person with a disability isn't that different from them, has children, does full-time work, engages in the community, that the disability is just one part of who I am. My name's Katrina Kelly. I'm 35 years old. I am from Indianapolis. I'm an attorney at Fakery Drinker, and I have a son who is 8 years old and a husband, and we live here in downtown Indianapolis with our 3 dogs. So I have spinal muscular atrophy, called SMA for short. It's a neuromuscular condition, and so essentially the nerves do not send a strong enough signal to the muscles, and because of that the muscles don't move as much, and so they atrophy. I practice in business litigation. I do litigation between companies where there's some kind of a dispute. I do a lot of trade secret cases, and I also work on e-discovery, helping manage giant productions of documents. So I studied theater in college. I actually was a theater major, and I still perform improv at Comedy Sports in Indianapolis. And I think there is kind of an artistic element to the law, and especially in litigation. It's almost a theatrical performance of sorts. My husband, I met him online. We were both on CatholicMatch.com, and I was doing improv, and at the time he was doing stand-up, and so we kind of were drawn to each other on the comedy front, and I just saw this cute guy pop up on my screen, and the rest is history. Maybe 8 months into our marriage, we were already talking kids, because I had always wanted to be a mom. And we decided to look into our options on adoption. I decided not to go for a domestic infant adoption. I was concerned that my disability might cause a barrier for some birth moms to choose me as the mom. And so I looked at Rainbow Kids, which is a adoption advocacy website that has a listing of children all over the world looking for families. And on maybe the 5th page, I saw a little boy who was adorable, and it said he had hemophilia. So I clicked on it to find out more. As I was reading the profile, it said that he also had spinal muscular atrophy. And I kind of got chills. I was like, oh my gosh, wait, is this my kid? It's been a really neat experience to parent a child with the same condition, because it's given me a lot of insight on a lot of things that have been helpful. He'll, say things like, I wish I could walk, or why did God make me have SMA? And it's nice to be able to talk to him from the perspective of, like, I get it, but you're pretty cool, That's actually what makes you you, and that's pretty awesome. I can speak to it in a way that feels very authentic, and I think helps him. Then also being able to advocate for him, because I know what kinds of things he's going to run into, education in the community, etc., and making sure that he doesn't get left out. I would like for people to start thinking of disability rights the same way that they would think of any other anti-discrimination policy, that I have a right to go into a store, I have a right to attend the school of my choice, I have a right to have a family, and people with disabilities have the same rights. Even if it might cost more, we should make that kind of investment. It's actually the 30th anniversary of the ADA, and we've come a long way, but we're obviously not there yet. There's no enforcement action for the ADA. A person has to bring a lawsuit if they want it enforced. They can't call the cops and say, hey, there's no ramp. They have to file a lawsuit, and I'm hoping that we can recognize that that's a problem, and that we need to make it easier for people to access buildings and enforce their rights, and not make it just a little bit harder than it already was. we need to fight for all disenfranchised groups at the same time and sort of unite together. I think there's a lot of ground that we could cover with intersectionality if we could just sort of remember that people are not one category. People have so many characteristics, and they should have the right to exist with all of them.